Are wrist wraps allowed in Olympic weightlifting? Have you ever wondered if wrist wraps are a part of Olympic weightlifting? Well, you are in for a treat as we break down the rules and standards surrounding this topic. In Olympic weightlifting competitions, wrist wraps are indeed allowed. The International Weightlifting Federation has set clear guidelines that permit their use without imposing specific restrictions on their length or width. This means athletes can select wrist wraps that best suit their needs for support during competition. Wrist wraps play an important role in stabilizing the wrist joint during the dynamic lifts like the snatch and clean and jerk. They help maintain proper wrist alignment and can reduce strain, especially when athletes are lifting heavy weights. This support is essential as lifters approach their maximum effort. When it comes to choosing wrist wraps, athletes often consider a few key factors. First, the length of the wraps is important. Most wrist wraps range from 12 to 20 inches. Longer wraps can provide more support by allowing multiple loops around the wrist. However, wraps that are too long might limit wrist mobility, which is vital for executing Olympic lifts correctly. Many lifters find that a moderate length of 12 to 18 inches works well, particularly those with smaller wrists who might prefer shorter options. Next, let's talk about width. Wrist wraps for Olympic lifting are generally around 3 inches wide. This width is designed to adequately cover the wrist joint and provide effective support during lifts. Material is another factor to consider. There are mainly two types of wrist wraps available: cotton and elastic blends. Cotton wraps tend to be more flexible and comfortable but may not offer the same level of rigid support. They are suitable for lighter training. On the other hand, elastic and polyester blends provide firmer support, which is beneficial for heavier lifts. However, if the wraps are too stiff, they can hinder the technical execution of lifts. Therefore, athletes need to find a balance between support and mobility. It is also worth noting that heavy-duty wrist wraps with reinforced materials and thick thumb loops are usually not recommended for Olympic lifting. Their stiffness can interfere with the complex movements involved in the sport. In summary, wrist wraps are allowed in Olympic weightlifting competitions with no specific size limits. Athletes can choose wraps that provide the right balance of support and mobility to optimize their performance and safety during lifts. This flexibility in equipment standards ensures that lifters can perform at their best while adhering to the rules of the sport.